Fancy something lovely and chocolatey? Do you like strawberries? Do you like cake? Want to get creative? Come on then, let's do it. Melt some dark chocolate. Say abracadabra. Just kidding, melt it in the microwave. And dip in your strawberries. Get some vanilla cake sliced up and layer it with buttercream icing. And then on top of that goes a layer of chocolate cake. Yes, that's right, there is your two-tone. Covered in chocolate buttercream icing this time and a layer of vanilla cake once again. Now time to coat in buttercream icing. Starting with vanilla, then chocolate, then vanilla. Or the other way around, really, it's up to you. Smooth it over. Ready to drizzle on your chocolate ganache. Drizzled on with a food piping bag on one half of the cake. Then turn your cake around. And guess what? We're going to use white chocolate ganache for the other half. Two-tone all the way with this one. We hope you like it sweet and chocolatey. And then just decorate with your chocolate-dipped strawberries. Sticking them onto the not quite set chocolate ganache all around the edge. And now let's decorate the top with some buttercream icing, chocolate and vanilla. And add some more strawberries. And there you have it. It really does look like it just stepped out of a magazine page, doesn't it? Slice it up and your strawberry dip two-tone cake is ready to serve. And it looks absolutely scrumptious. If you're looking for a show-stopping cake for your next special occasion, then this special unicorn drip cake is the recipe for you. It may be small in size, but it's bursting with flavour, using simple ingredients from your kitchen like eggs, flour, butter, sugar and cream, and a little bit of food colouring. So, let's get started. To start up, we need some butter, 170 grams, with the same amount of caster sugar. Mix that together in a mixing bowl with a spatula. Whisk it up with an electric whisk if you have one to save time. You can then whisk in 3 eggs and 170 grams of flour, a little bit at a time. Making sure the flour doesn't go everywhere. Add 1 teaspoon of baking powder to that. And some purple food dye, or whichever colour you prefer. Now our mixture is ready, we can put it in our baking tin, which we're just going to lightly grease with butter first. A little bit of flour too, to stop the cake from sticking to the bottom and the sides. Spoon in your cake mixture. And you can do this several times. Put the remaining mixture into a separate cake tin. Bake at 180 degrees for 30 minutes. Right, now they're all ready. We can get our buttercream frosting. Add some yellow food dye, or again, whichever colour you prefer. We love the purple and yellow combination. Stick it in a piping bag, ready to decorate. I'm going to slice the top off our first round cake. And pipe on our yellow buttercream icing. Layer upon layer, using our 3 cakes. Now we put that to chill, and then cover the entire outside in our yellow buttercream. Chill again. Add more buttercream. And you can just repeat this process depending on how much buttercream you would like to add. Now we've got some edible glitter, which we're going to sprinkle around the outside, on the bottom. Now time for our rectangular cake. We split that in half and start breaking it up. Crumbling it into cake crumbs. And then spooning on some yellow buttercream icing to stick it all together, forming a dome. Now that little dome we're going to cover in buttercream. chill it. Cover it again, just like we did with the other cakes. And that's going to go on top of our cake. Now we get 100 grams of white candy melts and melt them with some double cream. Purple food dye gets added to that. And we're just going to spoon that on top of our finished cake. Let it drip down the sides. It's going to drip off that dome there. And for a finishing touch, you can get an ice cream cone. Use some edible glue and some edible glitter to sparkle it up. And there you have it. Sparkly unicorn drip cake. Dripalicious. If you're artistic and creative and love chocolate, you have got to try this gorgeous chocolate faulty line cake. Oh my goodness. Start with your basic chocolate cake and we are going to layer it filled with buttercream icing. Using a food piping bag for ease to just pipe it on top of each layer. Keep going as much as you like. We're doing 3 layers. Using a spinning plate, we can just easily pipe on the rest of the buttercream icing around the outside and then use a flat knife or spatula to smooth it all over. Ready to decorate with your chocolate. We're using Merci chocolates and Maltesers. You can of course use any chocolate bars or pieces of chocolate that you like. Stick them on. Then add some more chocolate buttercream beneath and above and smooth it over. On top as well, because we're going to decorate the top with, yes that's right, more chocolate buttercream. We are piping it on with a serrated edge nozzle to create a beautiful effect and adding a chocolate on top of each. And there you have it. Fit for a queen, or maybe a princess. Or a prince. Or even a king. Who knows? I think I'll just eat it all myself. We all love a red velvet cake, but ain't it special when it's dressed up with cream cheese, baby meringues and summer berries? So let's get started. Add 100 grams of egg white to a mixing bowl and whisk until light and frothy. 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar goes in there and 200 grams of sugar. Whisk it up till it's nice and thick. Now in a food piping bag we're going to just paint on some stripes of red food colouring and spoon in our meringue mixture. Once that comes out of our serrated nozzle, we've got these beautiful, slightly red tinted baby meringues. Those bake in the oven for 1 hour at 90 degrees. Now, in a mixing bowl, we add 100 grams of butter with 200 grams of cream cheese and whisk together with 50 grams of sugar. Once that's nice and smooth, pale colour, again we're going to paint stripes with red food colouring on the inside of a food piping bag and spoon it in. This time, using a straight edge nozzle, we're going to get our red velvet cake, which we made earlier or pre-bought from the store, and squeeze on our cream cheese mixture like so. We're going to continue this on each layer of our red velvet cake. And once we get to the top layer, we can start to add our fruit, raspberries, mulberries, and of course, our baby meringues. A few sprigs of rosemary in there for some colour. And there you have it. Beautiful nude red velvet cake. An absolute crowd pleaser. Very fresh to look at. Super easy to make. Super delicious. Yum! Time for Nyam Nyam's gorgeous chocolate leaves cake. All you need is 250 grams of cake mix and 3 eggs. 30 millilitres of oil goes into that and 60 millilitres of milk. Whisk that up. You can buy ready cake mix from the store for chocolate cake. Makes things much quicker. We're going to lightly spray a cake tin with oil and put a layer of wax paper on the bottom and pour in our cake mixture. Give it a tap and stick it in the oven for 30 minutes at 180 degrees. Now we're going to melt some dark chocolate buttons. And using a paintbrush, we're going to paint it onto some clean leaves. This is the fun part. Bring out the artist in you. Now we're going to chill that for 30 minutes, and once it's set, we peel the leaves off and you get this beautiful leaf impression left on your dark chocolate. Put that aside. Now 150 millilitres of whipping cream go into a pot on the stove. Heat it till it bubbles away, and then pour it onto 200 grams of dark chocolate. Now mix it really well until all the dark chocolate has melted into the cream. Look at that. Now 20 grams of butter goes into that. Room temperature butter is just perfect. Mix that in until it's all melted in. Now, getting our chocolate cake out of the oven, we're going to pour our chocolate fudge mixture over the top, letting it drip down the sides onto a baking tray underneath. Chill that for 30 minutes. Once it's slightly set, we add chocolate buttercream around the bottom edges using a serrated edge nozzle on a piping bag. Now, time to add our chocolate leaves for decoration. Let's make a flower using chocolate buttercream for finishing touches. Look at that. Delicious. Professional results in minutes. Fault line cakes are an absolute legend and a treat for the eyes. So easy to make, and Nyam Nyam will show you how. All you need is some buttercream and some food colouring. We're using pink food colouring. Stir that in so we get a lovely pink buttercream icing colour. Put that aside. Time for our vanilla cake. We're going to slice that up in half. And in between our layers, we're going to add our buttercream icing. Using our plain coloured buttercream icing for this bit. Smoothing it out evenly using a spatula or flat knife. Smoothing it over the sides. Adding layer upon layer of vanilla cake and buttercream icing. Smooth all around the edges. And on the top. Right, now time to add our pink buttercream icing. That goes all around the side of the cake, just in the middle section. Smoothing it down over the white buttercream icing. Time to add our sprinkles. And of course, don't forget our pearls. Adding that around the middle part where our pink buttercream icing is. And we're going to use a food piping bag to squirt in some more pink buttercream icing all the way around the edge of our cake, starting from the bottom. And we're going to add several layers, one on top of the other, until we reach our sprinkles. Now this step gets repeated on the top of the cake. Again, several layers of pink buttercream icing until we reach where our sprinkles are. Now we're going to smooth those layers over from the top and the bottom of the cake using a flat knife or spatula. Careful not to let it go over the sprinkles. Now we can use a plastic sheet to just tidy it up and flatten it out, covering any gaps that might be there. Adding some pink buttercream icing, of course, on the top of our cake. Swirling out in a spiral shape from the centre outwards. Covering the entire cake in pink buttercream icing. And again smoothing it out with a spatula. Add a few big pearls for finishing touches. Gorgeous. Now we're going to use some gold food colouring to just paint the rim where our pink buttercream icing meets our sprinkle and pearl section. Creating a kind of a wavy effect on the edge. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight by any means. Taking care as we do this. And there. It's ready to roll. Stunning! Look at that masterpiece. sprinkly, pearly, pink delight. Do you love chocolate cake? Well, you've got to check out this really cool Pull Me Up chocolate cake decoration hack by Nyam Nyam. All you need is your basic chocolate cake. You can buy it from the store or pre-make it. Just slice it in half and fill it with buttercream icing. We're using chocolate buttercream icing, of course. Then we cover the top in buttercream icing. And even all the way around the side. Why not? Let's go all in. Of course, it doesn't have to be chocolate. It can be to your liking. Once that's smoothed over, we chill it. And now comes the fun part. Let's make the chocolate ganache using dark chocolate melted in hot whipped cream. Ooh, delicious. It's very easy to make chocolate ganache, and it's going to look so cool. After we've put our plastic sheet around our set cake, we can pour on the chocolate ganache. And that plastic sheet just keeps it all in place for now, so we can add our sprinkles or whatever decoration you really want to add. We're adding some gold powder too. Gently lift off the plastic sheet and let it drip down the sides. Oh my goodness, that looks chocolicious! Can you believe how super easy it is to make a very professional looking cake? You could even try this with mini chocolate cakes or cupcakes. That would be cool too. But just look at this. Almost too good to eat. Go on, I know you want to.